What an excellent day for an exorcism.
Welcome to Just Another Horror Podcast.
I'm John. Fuck capitalism!
I'm Lindsay, trying to write horror novels because I was a weird kid.
The whole world is a urinal.
Fuck the prime time, bitch!
Oh, right. I said I will break you, and then I was like, I'm gonna dress like Apollo Creed for the 4th of July.
Alright. There's an Aqua Teen meme. Oh, I sent you something about hornets. Yeah,
Lies.
This is all
Lies and propaganda.
This is all very interesting.
Bullshit. Wasps could be useful. No.
The Wasp was typing it himself. The
course
Wasp
he was.
making,
You know that
was
he would.
writing the article.
Right, because wasps are bad.
Just playing into your insecurities.
That's easy. Can't even be that much fun. Hello, welcome to Just Another Horror Podcast.
Ooh, hello.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm John.
I'm Lindsay.
I'm M.
And I have insecurities. Today we are reviewing Excision, which was my choice out of the hat. You guys have not seen this before,
No.
right? Have you ever heard of it?
No, I
Nope.
don't think so.
No? Okay.
A disturbed, delusional high school student with aspirations of a career in medicine goes to extremes to earn the approval of her controlling mother.
And like I said earlier to you guys, I showed this to one friend once, and he hated it, and he loves gross movies. So I don't... What do I gotta do to please people, man?
What?
I feel like I should have thought of you before I...
What? Why?
I don't know if this is the kind of movie you would like or not. I really was confident until I rewatched it for the second time that it was something you would like, and then I was like, I don't know that she would like this.
Period blood doesn't scare me.
That's not what. That's not why.
I mean, it's not like your typical gory movie. There's blood, but it's not...
I was fine with it.
Oh, you were? That's great. That's great. All right, then I'm not nervous
as
anymore.
far as the gore, like, grossness, like, whatever factor, like, I was fine with it.
Did you watch anything?
Oh, no, you were going to talk about...
Oh, I'm going to talk about Aqua Teen.
Right, which
Yeah.
brought up for me my son playing the Rick and Morty game, which is not the Rick and Morty game. It's a video game called High on Life that is made by the same people that make Rick and Morty, and it's really funny, and if you're into games, you should play it.
It looked fun. Guy was carrying around a gun.
Alien fish
gun? Yeah, I don't... Man, it looked crazy. So I watched the Aqua Teen movie, Plantasm, and it was the most coherent thing that Aqua Teen has ever done. No, at the end, they make fun of you for spending full price for a 70-minute movie, and then some of it even got tossed in the trash, and it's only 70 minutes because the credits are so long, and the girl that you're with doesn't even want to be there. She's trying to awkwardly get away, but you won't let her because girls don't watch this.
Wow. You didn't pay for it, did you?
Of course I did.
You did?
They can have my money.
You paid for it?
Why wouldn't I?
Because you never pay for any movie ever?
I only pay for things that I want them to make more of.
Oh, alright.
I want more Aqua Teen, although they're probably like, I'm sick of this shit.
Are they still making the show?
No, they made 10 shorts on YouTube. They were like 3 minutes long each.
Mm-hmm.
Just, like, had every character from the show in them. And then they made the movie. And that's it.
I don't even need to watch Aqua Teen.
Nope.
You could just quote it all.
Alright, so Excision. We have lots of cameos in this movie. Malcolm McDowell. He's good in everything I've seen him in.
Annalyn McCord, but I guess she had this video that went viral about Vladimir Putin. She was like, if I were your mother, Vladimir Putin, like, the world would be very different, and you wouldn't have, like...
God damn.
It's so
wow.
strange. It's only, like, a 2 or 3 minute video. I looked it up. I had never heard about it, but I guess it went viral.
I don't know anything about that. I remember her, she
doesn't have
her
roles like this.
Her breakout was the 90210 remake.
Mm-hmm.
And she was this young, beautiful... I mean, if you see pictures of her online, she's
Oh yeah, she's very
She
good.
went-
They had to do a lot of work
She
to
went
make
out
her
of her
look
way
like...
to do this,
Yeah.
yeah. The director, Richard Bates Jr., he wanted to make this movie, and he did not care if it ruined his career. He didn't care how much it costs, and he didn't care if this was the only movie he ever made. This is a movie he wanted to make.
Yeah, was caring that this girl clearly has mental issues.
Mm-hmm.
She was crying out for help the entire movie. Her mother's taking her to a preacher to, like, give her psychiatric help. Like, come on.
Yeah.
And I don't think that she believes in God. I think that she's talking to God as a way of coping, like, because she can't go to therapy.
Yeah, I wasn't
so it's kind of like
sure,
talking
because
to
it seemed
herself.
like she was actually talking to God, like she was kind of praying. So I don't really know. Because, I mean, she'd be like, I know that you're supposed to, like, forgive anything I do, so that's pretty good.
But
like,
to me, that sounds like her
let me know if I'm
excusing-
out of line here.
It's her excusing herself.
Yeah, maybe.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah.
Like she's trying to give herself pass for some of these things. Like she's like, I went and lost my virginity, but that's on you for giving me hormones, and I did this, but that's on you for doing this. And
Right,
just,
yeah.
I think she didn't have anybody else to talk to, so
Right,
she
yeah.
just spoke out loud, and it was the way she was raised. The person you speak out loud to is God, and she
Yeah.
even said at the end, I don't know if I don't think I believe in you, so
Yeah.
da da da. But
And I
she's
mean,
still
she
just
even
kind of
said
talking.
that science and religion don't mix, and that's why she didn't want to continue therapy sessions with the preacher.
John
Like,
Waters.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, she even told her mother, like, she wanted her to take her to an actual psychiatrist. And her mother's like, "What, do you think we are made of money? Like,
you're spending all this money on a dress to take her to a stupid dance class.
Yeah.
This is what you think is going to solve it? She says, I don't want to go. And she's like, well, fuck you, you're going, and this will make you a better person somehow.
Yeah.
Like, what? Who is your kid? What exactly do you know about your kid?
Right.
Nothing. You don't know. All you know is that she's a nuisance to you. So don't get involved in her life. Just force her to do the shit you want her to do, because you have another one over here. So I guess you're just gonna be.
Yeah,
and
she's
that's-
just happy she's got that one.
And that's the one that you got to care about and put all this money towards and stuff like that. Like, mental health is
it's
just as
terrible.
important
I
as
just
physical
feel
health.
so bad for Pauline throughout this, because it's like nobody is caring that she's crying out for help.
She is weird and she is gross, but that's because there's nothing there to keep her from doing that.
Yeah, and I'm sure
So-
there's been signs for years that she has issues, and they're just ignoring it.
I do kind of like the fact that she is just, I mean, I know has mental issues, but she is herself. She just puts herself out there. She doesn't care what other people think.
Yeah, she doesn't edit what she's saying. She just says whatever she wants to.
Yeah, which is like just amazing to me.
Yeah, she's a really interesting character.
Yes, for sure.
This is what people claim that they're like when they're like, I speak my mind. But you would never walk up to somebody and say shit like this.
Right, yeah. Like, what did she say at her therapy session? Something about, like, I want to give you the same anguish that I have when I sit and listen to your sermons.
Yeah.
Even when, like, she asked that guy to lose her virginity to him, she's just like, I want to lose my virginity to you.
Yeah, and his friends are right
Yeah,
there,
you're at the
too.
top of my list.
Yeah, but hurry up, because I don't got all day, man. Let's go. I kind of like that because it was like her take. It's almost like one of those movies about like the dudes who like make a pledge to lose their virginity before the end of high school.
Yeah.
But it's this girl. And sometimes when you watch those movies like American Pie, you're like, that guy should not be getting laid.
Yeah.
That guy is gross and weird, and he's a creep to everybody. And at the end of the movie, he has sex with some guy's mom. Fuck you, movie.
Yeah,
So
I
that's
never
like the
liked that
reverse of
movie,
this. Like, this
but-
girl's gross and weird,
Yeah.
gets laid, and
Right,
uses
yeah.
the woman or uses the man to fulfill a need.
Yeah.
So-
And I mean, he already has a girlfriend and everything, and he still is
And
like,
he showed
okay,
up.
I
He's
wanna...
like, all right.
Yeah. But I mean, and then she's also got this weird blood fetish, and I mean, she even tells her sister what she's planning on. She's like, I want to lose my virginity while I have my period. So, I mean, the movie starts out with her having that dream where I think that's her, right, in the other chair, and she's like throwing up blood, like, and coming out of her ears, and like, she's like having an orgasm because of this.
She loves blood. Do you know what a man is called who likes to have sex with a girl while she's on her period?
What?
A bloodhound.
Oh yeah, I've heard that. I think I heard that from you. What is
Just
it?
a side note.
It's also called giving somebody red wings.
What?
When you eat somebody out who's on their period.
I know a girl in high
Yeah.
school that happened
Yeah.
to. She was like, you sure about this? He was like, yeah.
All right, dude.
Yeah,
Whatever
I always
you
heard
want.
about this one guy that lives around here that like loves going down on girls with their periods.
I don't get that. I don't get it.
Maybe
but hey,
they've got
if
a blood
it's your
fetish
thing,
too. Then yeah,
if
I
it's
don't
your
know.
thing, go for it.
Yeah, hey, everything consensual, it's fine. But in this movie, it
It's
wasn't
not.
so much
Yeah,
because
yeah.
he did not know.
He didn't know. I don't know. He had to freak out Yeah, I guess. I don't know. What do you think? As
I mean,
a man,
it would have been
what do
one
you think?
thing if, like, she would have been like, oh my gosh, like, I had no idea, like, I'm sorry, but she
You
didn't
know
know
she
she
did
did it
this.
on purpose.
Yeah, that's
They showed her
And-
taking her tampon out, and I was
right,
like,
yeah.
wow, an actual tampon with actual blood on it.
Yeah.
That's something to be seen.
Right, yeah.
Probably never seen before.
So
Like, I don't,
these-
he
Not
might
even
not even realize, like, because during the actual sex, like, he didn't know, like, he thought she was just wet, you know?
She's
but then
having
she's
this
like, I want you
dream
to
of
go
just-
down on me now. And he's like, okay. And then he realizes.
Yeah.
She's having a wild ass time.
She's
in that-
enjoying herself.
Yeah,
Yes,
just
she is.
blood flying every fucking where.
So, as like, what would you think of that as a man, knowing?
It's different
She
for me.
knows she has her
if you're
period.
talking 18-year-old me, I would probably be like, get the fuck away from me. What the hell is this? Because she tricked me into doing that. I could have looked. I could have
Right.
taken the time to look, but at the same
But
time,
you wouldn't
like,
think that would be going on, you know? You wouldn't expect.
yeah.
So
exactly.
a woman must tell you if she's having her period during sex.
I don't think they must. I think that, like, if they specifically request you to go down on them, and they know they have their period, they should consent that first.
Yeah, I think so.
I agree.
Just,
Having sex when, oh well, it's not gonna hurt you. But it's the others. Yeah, that's because she has herpes.
right?
He's got now. He could have ingested blood, blood.
They didn't even kiss, did they?
I don't think
know.
so. I didn't see them kiss at any time. But
It
if he's
was-
going down on her,
It was
then-
extremely robotic because she was just like, "Take your clothes off. All right, let's
Yeah.
do this." So
But, okay, if you have like a cold sore and that's the same thing as herpes, could he get it still from going down on her too?
I don't
like,
know.
I don't
No,
know.
because it's oral.
She
That's
only
different.
has
it has to come from
Okay.
there.
And
Okay.
only if she has a breakout is it contagious.
Oh, okay.
So he couldn't get an STE from eating her out when she was on her period.
Correct.
Okay. All right then. I guess it's just.
I'm trying
shitty.
to think of
That's
the
all. It's
equivalent.
just
I'm trying to
shitty.
think of the equivalent in the other.
I don't think there
You
is
know what I
one.
mean? Like if a woman is giving a man a blowjob, like he needs to tell her if.
Well, there wouldn't be
yeah,
anything
yeah.
like.
You know what I mean?
Other than like if he has an actual STD, which anybody should be
Right.
giving that information.
Disclosing for sure.
But I mean-
FYI, I bleed out of my dick.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's information I would want to know.
Her mom, who is a complete.
She's a control.
She's a
Yeah.
control freak, but she lets her go on this trip with this kid because I think she knows that she's gonna have sex with him.
Well, she says she's going to a study group. I
But
think
she spends so much time making her look as good as she can for it.
Right.
She comes back and she's like, "How was it? It was everything I think she wanted her to do
I-
something normal."
Well,
Yeah,
yeah, she
she
wanted
just-
her to do something normal, and
Yeah.
I think she just thought like this girl likes this boy, she wants to impress him, and
she's showing interest in a boy, which is a normal thing for a teenage girl
Yeah.
to do. So
It's something, yeah.
right.
It's something, yeah.
I don't completely hate the mom. I think she's a bad mom, but I don't hate her
Yeah.
because there are times when she tries. She's just bad at
She's
it.
so unlikable though,
Yeah.
and she's rude to everyone.
But the thing is, they're both unable to have a conversation with each other. Whenever one tries, the other one won't try. And then the other one tries, and then the other one won't try. There are so many opportunities to, like, start a conversation here.
Yeah.
And the two of them sabotage each other. And the dad, I think, what do you call it when you... enables them to do this.
Yeah.
By having no stance or an extreme stance.
I liked the dad better than the mom though. At least he was a little more understanding towards his daughter, and like he wanted to
Yeah.
hear what she had to say and everything.
A little bit, but he needed to stand up to the mom too.
Yeah. But
Because then-
the mom got mad at him for not backing her up, though.
Right.
And, I mean, I'm glad he wasn't backing her up, because I didn't agree with her.
Can you believe at one point she said, "Am I turning into my mother?" And the dad was
Yeah.
like, "If you were turning into your mother,
I'd divorce
we'd
you
be
and-
divorced right now." What the fuck was her mother like?
Oh, I know, that's what I'm
No,
wondering.
she does say what her mother's like.
What?
Later on, when she's talking to Pauline on the couch. When they're sitting on the couch together, she's like, "My mom used to just completely treat me like shit, ignore me." She was abused as a kid, too. She made that clear.
Gotcha.
So she's just doing it again, and she doesn't want to do that. She's at least consciously aware that she's doing that, but she doesn't stop. And this dad is when she asks that question, all the dad wants to do is like, now I can get laid, because he's trying to like kiss her, and she's like, not right now. Read the fucking room.
But, like, she was even not nice to, like, that deaf woman. She's like, I can't understand when you start, like, flailing your arms around. Oh my gosh, she's using sign language. Like,
I think that she's not a good person.
No.
I just think that she's not unredeemable.
There were certain points, like, you could tell that when Pauline would do something shocking or say something shocking, so then the mom would have this, like, gut reaction, this, like, disdain, disgrace, whatever it is. And then she would kind of go back and be like, I'm kind of sorry.
And she does not have the ability to deal with it, but also won't take her to therapy for someone else to deal with it.
Yeah.
Well, she thought she was taking her to therapy when she took her to the minister. I know, but I guess...
But if your kid says this isn't working, well, fuck you. It's gonna work. No, it's not working.
She even told her, like, she basically diagnosed herself as having borderline personality disorder.
Yeah.
But...
You know what you should really do to a depressed teenager is tell them that they're delusional and full of shit.
Well, and then she overhears the conversation with her parents saying, like, she's, like, impossible to love, and that was really...
That, like, even though, like, the mother kind of caused this, what could have been, like, a real divide between them, because, one was good, one was bad, one was, lovable, one was not. Like, the sisters still had a way to relate to each other and love each other and have a relationship. And I thought that was, like...
Definitely. Because it could have easily gone the other way, where the other sister would be like, oh, I'm better than you. And she wasn't like that at all. Like, she cared about her sister, even though she was different and weird. Like, she didn't treat her like that at all.
She tells off the jump rope girl across the street for making fun of her.
Right.
And that what, like... I know that this is the kind of stuff that does really happen, but somehow I've never came across this in my life where somebody is that rude and is like,
me neither.
So. Like, you just don't see that too. If somebody was that rude, I don't know if cutting their lungs out is the right reaction to it, but...
Well, but even the end of the movie, Pauline thinks that what she's doing to save her sister's life.
Right, yeah. She thought she was doing something really good there.
Yeah. And she has no real... I don't know that she has a grasp on right or wrong.
Right, yeah.
Like a real, tangible grasp on it.
And it seemed like she really believed she could just, like, skim through some books and do this surgery.
She treated it like puzzle pieces. The thing is, she did get the lungs out in one piece, which, way to go. It's just they're dead now.
Like a surgeon.
Basically, it's just one mishap after another in this movie where she just does something completely insane, and it just keeps escalating and escalating.
I mean, we haven't even mentioned that her sister has cystic fibrosis.
I hate that she finds out her friend from the cystic fibrosis camp died.
Yeah.
Gets in the car with her dad and is like, the worst part about having cystic fibrosis is finding out your friends die, and he just sits there.
I think he just didn't know what to say to that.
He doesn't know what to say about
anything. Yeah.
I mean, both of the parents are completely emotionally unavailable, which in a way is abuse.
Yeah, for sure.
Unavailability, you know what I mean? Like, no emotional connection. Like, I mean, that is abuse. I think that kind of abuse is the kind that they don't realize that's how they are. You know what I mean? They don't realize that that's what they're doing, but that's what they're doing.
Yeah, definitely.
I think the two of them are so toxic to each other that they are constantly in a world of, like, being, like, annoyed by each other. It's almost like the kids aren't even a part of it to them. Except every now and then their cystic fibrosis one coughs or their bad one does something crazy. Outside of that, they don't exist. The dad just makes me so... Because he has these little moments where it's like maybe he'll be helpful or maybe he'll be useful, and he just continues to do absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
But I think also it's because he stayed in this horrible relationship with this woman, and she broke him. And it's not all her too, because she is also from abuse, from her. So it's all just like this abuse down the line.
Right.
So do you think that the parents, coming from where they came from, knowing what they know, with the capabilities that they have, do you think they did their best?
That is a great question.
I feel like at least the mother thinks she's doing her best, but she's not, probably. I mean, I think she thinks she's doing what she's supposed to do.
I think to the best of both of their knowledge, this is how you're supposed to parent, and if the kids aren't taking it, then that's on them, which is not ever the case.
Right.
Ever. But that is a mindset among most parents.
And the dad is, like, afraid to stand up to the mom, really.
That's what I meant by he's just being down.
Yeah.
Which I don't want to make that... When I say that, it sounds like I'm saying this is all the mom's fault. But the mom came from abuse.
Right, yeah.
So it's not all the mom's fault.
Yeah.
It just goes on and on and on.
Like when Pauline, she pierced her own nose and her mom got, like, all upset and said she looked like trash and everything. But her dad was like, well, I pierced some stuff when I was younger. Like, did you, like...
He's worried that it's not sanitized.
Right, and she said that she did use stuff to make sure it didn't get infected. Yeah, antiseptic.
It's when she gets real pissed, and this reminds me of some dumb shit that my dad used to pull. When she gets real upset and storms off, he's like, look what you made your mom do, take that out.
Yeah.
So you don't really have a reason for wanting her to take it out, and you're changing your stance on it because you're afraid that you're going to have to deal with her now.
Yeah.
Sort of like, unload the dishwasher or your mom will divorce me. I should have been like, well, good.
I keep thinking, like, because, okay, I have teenagers now, right? So, like, it is very hard because when you have kids, you kind of have this, like, I'm going to love them and they're going to be great and we're going to have a great family and they're going to be so wonderful. And, you know, you don't have kids going into it thinking that it's, you know, going to be bad. You think it's going to be good. You think it's going to be, you know, this really positive, good experience. Your kids, you know, you're going to give them good, positive experiences and all that kind of stuff. And it's a real kind of like punch in the gut when, you know, they turn around and they're like, I think completely differently about this certain thing than you. You help them with their schoolwork for, like, you know, 7 years, and then one day they're like, I'm not fucking doing my homework, fuck you. And you're like, what just happened? You know, like...
Yeah. You don't think about the challenges that are going to come along with it.
Not like
you don't
that.
know.
No. I mean, I guess this is a personal thing. I always did well in school. My ex always did well in school. So it was a no-brainer. Our kids were going to go through school and do well in school. And when one of our kids was like, I'm not doing this. I'm just not doing it. How do you even react to that? You know what I mean? It's like if both of you were like, you know, I don't know, baseball and softball players, right? And like your child is like, no, I'm not even looking at that. I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, you just kind of have this vision when you have kids. Obviously, the mom in this was religious, you know what I mean, and came from the background she came from. And so the younger sister fit the mold or whatever, you know what I mean? And anywhere in her mind when they were having kids was she like, I'm going to have this daughter who, you know...
She doesn't even know the extent of what's going on.
Yeah, right? She doesn't. She doesn't know what's going on with the guy, the obsession with all the blood, you know, the killing the animals, like with the bird. I mean, she didn't kill the bird, but like...
She's, like, obsessed with death and everything.
Yeah, with death and blood and all that kind of stuff. She doesn't even know all of that.
No.
So, like, her background is, like, your counseling is going to a minister. Yeah. That's, you know, I was raised Christian, we're raising you Christian, this is what we're doing.
Yeah. I mean, people need to realize they're giving birth to little individuals that are going to think, have minds of their own, and you can't control who they're going to be.
That's a tough balance, deciding
it is so hard.
What things you think you need to teach them and which things you think you need to just avoid so that they don't end up making mistakes you do. But also, like, if you haven't done those things and you don't really know how to explain it to them and they're basing their actions off of what they see you do... Yeah, it's so much stuff.
Oh yeah, I can't imagine how challenging parenting would be. Like,
I wonder if she looked at those two and the way that they acted with each other.
Pauline
looked at her parents and was like, I don't want anything to do with relationships. This looks like shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then when she got into the sex ed class, and she was like, oh, I guess losing virginity is just part of something you do, so I'll go knock that out real quick and then get back to doing what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean, she clearly was already having sexual feelings. I mean, it showed in the very first scene of the movie, but they were not your normal sexual feelings.
They were like dead people.
Yeah.
Or blood. So.
But she doesn't even know that's normal or not. You know what I mean? Like, she doesn't read that other people think that is...
That's why
Weird.
when she asked that question, she was really surprised that everybody was like so disgusted.
Because she thought, I just have this question. I'm not joking around.
And even when the guy goes down on her and freaks out,
she doesn't even react.
It didn't
It's
occur
like,
to her that would be disgusting for him.
Yeah.
Or
didn't care.
I don't think
I care.
I think she maybe didn't care.
Yeah, didn't care or it didn't occur.
I feel like she just didn't care.
That's why she was acting the way that she was when he let her out of the car.
Yeah, like
she was like, "Oh, that wasn't fun for you. Oh, that's tough."
Yeah, he was like, "I had a really nice time." He's like, "Would you get the fuck off my car or whatever?" You know. But
And
then
she
even
didn't
after
care.
that, like her mom was like, "How did everything go?" "Oh, it was everything I dreamed it would be." Like
He was a means to an end for her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine. That's good. That's
like
different.
she didn't
for
care
horror
that
movies.
he like hates her now.
It's different for a woman.
Yeah. There you go. I picked 2 movies that put the women in charge of the men. There you go. They go to this dance, and just like Pauline's been telling her mom the whole time, it's for younger people.
Right.
But
She's 18.
Yeah, they get there, and it's like a bunch of like 12, 13, 14-year-olds. And so she finds somebody to finally talk to. And things are going okay, because it seems like, this girl can't find anybody to hang out with either. But then she's like, you should just get surgery on your face.
Well, because the girl's like saying that boys don't talk to her unless like they want her to do their homework, and so then she like takes off the girl's glasses and she's like, "Have you ever thought of getting some work done?"
Oh, that's
Like-
right. I totally
amazing.
forgot about that.
And when she walks away, she's like, what?
Yeah, she's just. I mean, she didn't
That's
think
what I
anything
mean.
of it. Like,
She is oblivious to what
Yeah.
quote unquote normal people do,
right.
or think, or feel, or any of it.
I think she said that thinking that they would be best friends after that.
Right,
like,
yeah.
not...
She didn't think that would offend the girl. She was just trying to be helpful, you know?
Yes!
Oh, man. So,
And then that boy asks her to dance.
that boy's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I don't know if he should get herpes for his shittiness.
No,
but,
I mean, because he is like a 14-year-old boy or something.
Yep. She's just decided she's going to kiss this guy to give him herpes. And
Well, because he's being rude to her, and he's like,
He's
"What's
like,
that
"That's
on your face? That's
gross."
disgusting." Like,
so let's discuss
Seriously,
how...
who doesn't know what a cold sore is?
right.
Really?
Well, he did know, because then he's like, "This girl has herpes on her face," so he knew cold sores and herpes were
He knew,
like connected.
There was no need to point it out
Right.
and make
where
her
it,
feel bad about
where
it.
it came from, I am conflicted with. It's such a weird scene that
dad?
Yeah, she was in a pool and drowning. Her dad got her out of there and gave her mouth to mouth. But the mom is like, now she's gonna have a cold sore. You should have
Yeah, you
waited for
should've.
the lifeguard. And you're not supposed to jump off the high dive. Like, your daughter
She almost
just almost died.
But that's just another way of showing that she values looks
Right,
and,
yeah.
The outward appearance over everything
Life,
else.
even. She'd
Everything
rather
else.
her daughter die than have a cold sore.
Right.
Really?
They're having a moment in the bedroom, and she's trying to tell her mom she loves her, and her mom's like, "Oh, I love you too." "Oh, that cold sore. Ugh, gross."
Yeah.
Like, immediately switches off. Man,
Or
I
when
don't know if
she's
she
trying to,
knows
like-
how to feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, like, at the table the one time, she's trying to actually be nice and be like, "Hey, I'm, like, sorry, like, thank you guys for putting up with me and everything," and the mother just, like, interrupts her and starts putting her down
Yeah.
for something else, and it's like, come on, she's trying to actually do something here.
Dad
and-
appreciated it.
Yeah.
And he was like, "That's good to hear." But she's like,
Right.
"Not until I see it," and wanders off.
Yeah.
They
Which
have
is
a-
what you pointed out. Like, one of them is kind
Trying.
of trying, and the other one, like,
Yeah.
at any point in time, they
the
just
mom
can't get
sits
on
on the
same
couch to talk to her, and she gets up and wanders off and gets
Yeah.
mad at her for trying.
Mm-hmm.
It's just back and forth over and over again. They just can't get on the same
Right.
page.
And then at the cotillion, like, before Pauline kisses that boy, her sister kisses a boy, and her mother freaks out about that.
page.
and
Man.
she lost her internet privileges or something for life.
That's when they
like,
all
oh my
go
gosh,
home.
she's just kissing somebody. Don't you want her to be able to have like a normal teenage experience?
Yes.
Like, especially if you don't know how long she's gonna live. Like,
Right. Exactly.
The dad is cleaning up the dirty footprints. The mom is saying that she can't love Pauline. Pauline's listening to it and crying, and Grace is in the other room coughing her fucking head off while all of this is going on. Nobody's paying attention to that. And now Grace needs a lung transplant.
Yeah.
Like, now. So this gives Pauline an idea.
I mean, she wants to be a surgeon,
Right, yeah.
but she does not want to do schoolwork.
No. She does not realize everything that goes into becoming a surgeon. She thinks she can just,
Right.
like, be one.
It's like I literally watched it and thought it was like she was putting together a puzzle.
yeah,
She's like,
pretty
lungs
much.
go here.
Yeah.
There's
Well,
both lungs.
and the one teacher was like, if you want to be a surgeon, math is part of that.
Right, yeah.
You know what I
wasn't
mean?
mean
And
about
she was
that
like,
at all.
he was like, you have to do the work.
Right, yeah.
And
but
she was just like,
doesn't think
no.
so.
I just want to cut things apart, plain blood.
Right, yeah. With that bird, do you think she believed that it was still alive when she was, like, cutting it open and stuff? Because the way she
Yes.
was acting, she believed it was still alive.
She thought she could save it. Yep.
I mean,
Or was she
I
just
guess.
pretending? I don't know.
I just remember she licked the blood. And
Yeah.
I was like, why?
That was gross.
That's why you need the books. You need to read the books. That's not part of surgery.
No.
You would know that if you read the books.
I know that. I know that. I know you don't lick the blood.
Pauline didn't know that. Well, she even washed her mouth out after that. Like, she knew that that was not really probably a safe
I don't
thing
taste the
to
problem
be.
in this blood. No.
I even looked up, like, is bird blood really red? I was like, is that,
man.
how realistic is that?
It is, though, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Originally, the plan was that somebody who was 2 years older than Pauline was going to watch them, which is funny to me. That
Right,
they hired
yeah,
a
to
20-year-old
babysit
babysitter to
them.
hire an 18 or to watch an 18-year-old. But Pauline probably.
When I was
needs it.
11, I was babysat by a 15-year-old.
I never had babysitters. I was left in my house when I was 8.
It was weird because I was left alone from, like, I'm going to say 3rd or 4th grade.
Yeah.
I was by myself cooking my own dinner, yada yada. And then this one summer, my mom was like, well, you can't be here by yourself.
After you'd been doing it for years already?
Yes! And I was like, what are you talking about? So
Maybe they figured that you'd start bringing people over. 'Cause that's what I
Maybe.
did.
my
so.
brother's girlfriend came and watched it for like 2 hours every afternoon, and we watched a movie. Like,
And she got paid?
yes!
Yeah!
I was like, I could do this by myself. I really don't see the
Pay
point
me
of
to
this.
watch a movie.
I was in 5th grade. Like, I could have my own apartment right now. Like,
I never had, like, a teenage babysitter. My grandparents would watch me for, like, a couple hours between... Because, like, my parents had different shifts, so, like, there wasn't very much time after school that I would have, really. So I would go to my grandparents' house, and then my aunt watched me sometimes. But I was very young when I started staying home by myself, for sure.
The school required I got off the bus with an adult. So my parents had me get off the bus at my grandma's house, and once the bus pulled away, walk home, because we had to cook dinner. So...
because you had to cook
Yeah.
dinner?
Yeah.
Yes.
It was a lot more typical back then to let children just
Oh,
be
for
by
sure.
themselves. Because I feel like now people wouldn't do that, but
Yep.
I mean, I felt perfectly safe by myself
I
in
had
my house.
2 things that my parents regretted. One was the first time they let me do laundry on my own. They didn't have any detergent. I'm like, bleach, that's the same thing, right? So I just dumped bleach.
Oh
and then,
no.
and all my dad's black shirts were black and pink and orange. And then the other thing was my dad was like, I'm going to put chili in a big pot and I need you to stir it every couple hours or even like every hour, something, so that it didn't. And I was like, I started enough, and I went to the park, and it burned this thick, and I spent like a couple of days scraping out the bottom of it, trying to clean it.
Then you had to clean
Of
it?
course, because, you know,
You
me,
left
the
it.
10-year-old, was in charge of cooking all day, and I screwed it up.
Keep an eye on this chili all day long.
I remember saying exactly that out loud. I'm like, I'm not staying here all day. I got things to do. And I went to
Well,
the
you're
gonna
park.
go play
10 years
hockey.
old.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't expect a 10-year-old to be
No.
doing that.
No.
The babysitter can't show up, so the mom is... This is weird to me. The mom and dad were going to go to dinner. The mom is completely fine with just leaving the dad there and going alone to dinner.
To dinner. I didn't
In
understand that
town.
either.
Were they meeting somebody? Like, or was she literally like, fuck this guy?
Yeah, I wonder.
She was like, your dad's
'Cause-
going to stay home, I'm going.
I
What?
wonder, maybe they were going with a group of people or something. I don't
Maybe.
know.
I have no idea. I think it was they had to find a way to get her out of the house, and that's the best they could come up with.
So.
They should just be like, I'm going into town and get some groceries. It makes no sense. The dad gets drugged.
Yeah,
from
tea. Yeah.
Tea. Mm-hmm.
And then tied
Because
up.
she cares so much about him, she wants him to get the antioxidants and.
Oh, yeah. If you're the dad, how are you not like, get away from me? I don't know what kind of surgery you're gonna pull on me, but I'd rather not. But
Oh wait, when did Leland Palmer, like the principal?
he's there, but he barely does anything.
He's the principal.
Oh.
Yeah, she told him she
Oh.
needs to get diagnosed for her disorder too.
Okay.
Take her to
Okay.
a psychiatrist,
Okay.
and he doesn't care.
So the boy that she slept with, that was somebody's boyfriend.
Yes.
That
Right.
girl
Natalie,
finds
I think.
out, and her and her friend go to the gym class and make fun of her.
Mm-hmm.
And she gives it back pretty good, but still is feeling bad about herself and even wants to give herself, like, surgery to...
Yeah, poor girl.
But anyway, they show up and they spray paint her garage.
Oh
Yeah.
right.
And so she goes to school and slams the one girl's head
Yeah.
against the locker, which gets her sent to Ray Wise.
Gotcha.
Right.
Who's-
But I mean-
Leland Palmer.
Leland
Leland
Palmer.
Palmer.
They vandalized her place, you know, like,
Yeah.
that's not okay.
When the mom and her fight about things sometimes, I can't wrap my head around why the mom doesn't take her side on some of them.
I know, really.
She slams the head of a girl who spray painted their garage.
Yeah.
After this, she doesn't go to school. She gets dropped off by her mom and doesn't go to school. She goes to the library. Her mom's like, I know you weren't at school. Where were you? And she said, it's the library. And she's like, I refuse to accept that. So she dumps the books out to prove that she went to the library
Right, yeah.
and gets slapped.
Yeah.
I always feel like in these movies, whenever the parent slaps the kid, that's it, man. It's over.
Right.
It's over now.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what happens here.
I kind of liked when the girlfriend found out about the way. It was kind of funny because, like, she went over, hey, Adam, and the girlfriend was like, oh, you better be careful. She was checking herself for STDs this morning. She's like, oh, I was okay, but I meant to ask you, do you have any STDs? And she's like, no. And she's like, oh, good, well, then I don't either.
Yeah. I really don't like that girl.
Me
She's
neither.
extremely mean.
Oh, yeah.
So she'll be fine. Got her head knocked off a locker. She'll be fine.
She's
Yeah.
fine.
After telling her mom that maybe she should think of alternatives for the lung transplant because it's dangerous, she decides after ordering some scalpels and surgery equipment that she's going to do it. So first she lures the jump rope girl over with the promise of more jump ropes,
Right.
but chloroforms her. Then chloroforms her sister,
Yeah.
and then it cuts to them in the garage, and they're dead already
yeah.
when it cuts to the garage. And she's
You can
just...
see her sister's, like, blank eyes, just,
Yeah.
but she thinks her sister's okay, and she saved her life.
Or she's
Yeah.
just in denial.
Yeah.
She obviously does not realize what she's done.
Ugh. Why do you think she shaved her head before
So
she
she didn't
performed
get
the
any hair
surgery?
in the surgery, in the yeah.
Sanitation.
Probably-
Although you could have just put
Put
a
a shower cap on or something,
Yeah.
like.
She probably read something and thought that would be easier because she's crazy now.
Yeah,
She's completely off the
right.
rails.
So when the mom comes in, she finds the dad tied up. She finds the daughter and the other girl, and they're in the garage, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
In the garage. And there was one summary of the movie that I read that, and then she's hugging the mom, and the mom is crying, and kind of.
So there you go, guys. There's an awesome, depressing movie. I give it an 8. I fucking love this. I can see why this guy wanted to get this thing out. Like, he had a lot to say. The messages that he's giving are buried in this messy, gross, hard to handle movie that isn't for everyone because it's so gross. But really, it's not really that gross. It's more like sad.
Oh, yeah.
Because the gross stuff is really depressing. Because thing about the blood that she's having fantasies about, or that it's psychosexual or anything like that, nobody's
Well,
explained
actually,
anything
she
to her.
even mentioned, like, when she was talking to the preacher, like, I don't want you to be able to indulge in my psychosexual fantasies.
Also, she does know that
Because
they are.
Yeah, she said that right to him, so she knows.
Oh, damn. But she also is very aware of therapy, and no one will listen to her at all. And she's not capable of going and get it on her own. So she needs the people who are her support group to do it, and none of them do. Her teachers completely ignore her or think that she's some sort of whiny freak or just a freak in general. Her parents are completely obsessed with their own lives or the lives of their other daughter. Not involved in her. No friends whatsoever. So this is the inevitable outcome of that, I think. Something like that could happen
Yeah,
if you give those kind of circumstances. So Yeah.
And it's more everyone else's fault than hers because she was trying to get help.
But also there are genuinely funny parts. Definitely 8 out of 10. M?
Me?
Yep.
No.
All right, Lindsay.
Okay, it was a very unique movie.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't actually feel like horror to me throughout most of it. Like, the last, 10 minutes were the most horror-ish. There was blood and stuff, but it didn't feel like horror. It was more like a dark comedy drama to me than it was horror. But I liked it. I don't know. I would give it a 7, I think.
All right, Em, you can't get away now.
I agree. 7. I would give it a 7. I recommend it. I'm finding that most of the horror movies that I find are good quality are really about some kind of trauma or generational trauma. I think about Hereditary, like that. I remember seeing a review of Hereditary and it was literally passing down
Yeah, the title means these things are
baggage
moving
from one
down.
generation to the next. You know what I mean? And that's really, I think, what good horror movies are about. It's more than just the person that they're focused on. You know what I mean? It's the whole system that allowed them to become that way.
Yeah.
You're gonna love Halloween Ends when you watch it.
Oh man. Anyway, yeah, I think really good performances, lots of unexpected kind of cameos. John Waters as a reverend, that
That's
was
so
pretty good.
awesome.
So yeah, I'd give it a 7. I would recommend it.
Sweet. All right. I did not fail this time.
This time.
Well, okay, if you want to get a hold of us, facebook.com/justanotherhorrorpodcast. You can email the show at justahorrorpodcast@gmail.com. We are on Spotify, Podbean, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts. Rate, subscribe.
Or we gonna sue your balls to the wall.
Instagram is just a horror pod.
Twitter, just horror pod.
Flawless! Way to go, guys.
I was like, what word is he saying right now? What?
Get us out of here.
Through me!